Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. In today's video, we are going to talk about the animal radical. And there's quite a lot of animal radical in the hanzi system. And I just pick 8 of them because these 8 radical, they're quite common in the hanzi system. And I think that's practical to learn. So there's 8 of them we're going to learn. And in today's video, we will just talk about the 4 of them first. And we will talk about the other 4 in the next video. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Now let's get the 田字格 ready and the pens ready. The very first radical we're going to talk about today is this. And this radical usually refers to a mammal and a beast. This radical is usually on the left side of the character. So the following characters we are going to talk about, they all have these on the left side, but just something different on the right side. And the original form of this radical, it looked like this. This is a character which pronounced as 犬, and it refers to the dog. This is the original form, and it turns into this. But when it's the radicals, it's not just refers to the dog. It also refers to a lot of mammals and the beast. Okay, so let's get to some real hanzi. The first example. Okay, this one is go, and go meaning dog. The 犬 means dog, and the go means dog. They all mean dog, but the 犬 is more ancient, and the go is more modern. And the next characters, mao, which means cat. Let's dive into the characters. On the right side of the cat, this one, this is the grass radical. We've already talked about it in the grass videos like this. If you're interested in that, check out my grass radical videos. And under the grass radical, this one, it means the field. And my understanding of cat is that it's an animal and it loves to play in the grass and the field. And that is cat. So this is my made-up story and my own understanding of it. I hope it helped you to memorize it. And as for the field, just to help you to memorize it, you can also see it in this. And you will see field on top, and this is the strength or labor. So strength and labor in the field, that is nan. That is nan, which means man, male. Let's go back to the go, 和猫. In English, there is a special name for the young animal, the young little animal. For example, dog, puppy, cat, kitten. But in Chinese, we don't have a very special name for the young little animals. We just put the 小 before it. So that would be just 小狗, and then the kitten is just 小猫. That's it. Okay, move on to the next animal. That is zhu. Zhu meaning pig. For the pig, actually, we have a radical for it. It looks like this. And this is the pig radical. But we will talk about the pig radical in the next video, not today's video. Now let's get to the next animal. Lang. Lang meaning wolf. And the next one, hou meaning monkey. So let's see, the hole on the right side of the hole, this is the hole. Obviously, it serves as a sound radical to the hole. You will see the hole have a people radical in it. I want to point out this part of the whole because we have another word which is very similar to this part. Shihou. Shihou, which means the moment. For example, 什么时候 when, 有时候 sometimes, 小时候 when I was little, something something 的时候 which means when something something. So you need to be careful. This whole and this whole is very similar, but the difference is in the 时候, the whole, there is one more stroke here. Okay, now let's get to the next character. Xing refers to gorilla. If we get rid of the animal radical, we just keeping the right side, it's also characters. And this is also xing, but it has a completely different meaning. This is the star. To say gorilla, we say xing xing 2 times, xing xing. And to say stars, it's also xing xing. Yeah, the pronunciation is completely the same, but the hanzi is different, so the meaning is different. If you want to know someone, if they're talking about the gorilla or the star, normally you will tell from the context. But if you are really confused, then you can ask, is the xing xing for the animal or the xing xing on the sky? Moving on to the next. Back to this. We just mentioned that this animal radical could refer to a lot of mammals and beasts. And that's just the first meaning of it. The second meaning of it is like the extension of those animals. It could refer to those animals' behavior or the quality or the personality of them. let's talk about the quality and personality first. So when you think of the wolf, what quality do you think they have? Yeah, they might be very fierce. That's right. The next character is meng. Meng meaning fierce. Okay, and maybe sometime it will get a little bit crazy. And the next one is 狂. 狂 meaning crazy. So if we say 狂人, that would be just crazy people. If you say, ugh, I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind, and that could be 抓狂. The 抓, you can see on the left side of the 抓, we have a hand radical. And the 抓itself, it means to grasp or grab. And 狂 is crazy. Just picture this. If you are going crazy, maybe you will just grab something to throw away, to crash something, maybe grab somebody to beat up, or grab your hair, etc. And besides the quality and personality, let's talk about the behavior that's related to animal. That is the next character. This is 猎. And what type of activity could be related to animal in the ancient time? Maybe hunting, right? So 猎 is to hunt. And to say 猎人, 猎人, 人 is the people. So 猎人 is the hunter. Then what about the animals that being hunted? And that would be 猎物. 猎物. That is the prey, the animals that being hunted. As for the 物 over here, this one, this is the ox radical, and we will talk about it in the next video, just to give you a little heads up. Moving on to the next animal radical, and that would be this is 鸟, meaning bird. And it also refers to the bird-like animal. And normally it's on the right side of the character. So the characters we are going to talk about later, they all have the bird radical on the right side and something different on the left side. Now let's get to the first example. This is 鸡, and 鸡 is the chicken or the rooster. But if you want to be very specific, the chicken, the hen. So that would be 母鸡母鸡 is very specific, talking about the hen. And the rooster? 公鸡公鸡 is the rooster. Okay, let's get to the next one. Ya, and ya is the duck. And the next one, is the goose. And you might notice on the left side, this is like the 我, which means I. So wait a second. I, bird, make goose? What's going on here? Well, the 我 actually right here is served as a sound radical. I know 我 and it's not even close, but 我 is the modern way to pronounce. But in ancient way, we pronounce it differently. Well, that's a quite complicated evolution, but technically, the 我 served as a sound radical since ancient time. And even though it changed the pronunciation of 我 already, but the character was formed and fixed. So anyway, the 我 still serves as a sound radical. Let's get to the next one is ge. Ge is a dove. So we say 鸽子. In everyday life, we prefer to say 鸽子. And the next one, this is 鹤. 鹤 meaning crane. The crane, like this. It's a very important symbol in Chinese culture. The crane symbolizes long life and wisdom. And there's a very famous traditional building in China, and that is 黄鹤楼, which look like this. And it's called Yellow Crane Tower in English. This building has been really famous since ancient time. And there's a lot of Chinese poems written about the Yellow Crane Tower. If you're interested in the history of this building, you can check out my other video about the Yellow Crane Tower. I'll drop the link down below in the description box. And let's get to the next one. Is ya. Ya is the crow. And normally we say 乌. Ya. 乌鸦. The 乌 is black. I know, 黑色 is black, but 乌 is also the word for black. And ya is the crow. You might notice, okay, so this and this here and this. So if there is no dots inside. It's empty inside. This is the 乌, which means black. And if there's dot inside, that is 鸟, which means bird. So yeah, you can say 乌鸟. Yeah, that's blackbird. That also makes sense. Move on to the next one. This one is quite complicated to write. This is 鹰, and then this is 舞, 鹦鹉 together is the parrot. And I know it's quite complicated. On the 鹰, this is 鹰, and it serves as a sound radical for the 鹰. And as for the 舞, this is 舞. It also serves as a sound radical. Okay, so the 鸟 radical could refers to the bird and bird-like animal. This is the first meaning of it. And the second meaning, like just as the animal radical on the last page, it could also refers to the behavior that's related to the bird. And that is this is 鸣, and 鸣, as you can see on the left side of the 鸣, this is the mouth radical. So it's related to making the sound. So the 鸣 could mean the bird tweet or the bird chirp, because they make the sound with the mouth. Okay, let's get to some word. We can say 鸟鸣, Niao, Ming, the bird, tweet. Or you can say Ming, Jiao. So Ming is the tweet, and Jiao could mean called or just make the sound. So altogether, it's still meaning the tweet. Now let's get to the next animal radical, which is the yu, which means the fish radical. And the fish radical, normally it's on the left side of the character. But sometimes it could be at the bottom part of the character. They're all fish radical. And as for the original form of the fish is this. This is the yu. So this is the fish character. Now let's get to some example. The first one. 鲸, and 鲸 is the whale. You might notice on the right side of the 鲸, this one, this is the 鲸. It serves as a sound radical. The 鲸is the exactly same character as we have in 北京. This is the 京. As for the 京 itself, it could mean capital. But obviously, here in the 京 for whale, this part is served as a sound radical. It would not bring the meaning, which is the capital, to this character. Let's get to the next fish. Li. Li is the koi fish. Normally, we say 鲤鱼. 鲤鱼, the koi fish. In Chinese culture, the koi fish symbolize luck and fortune. So it's not surprised to see a bunch of koi fish in the pool in a park. And let's get to the next fish. You, squid. And normally we say 鱿鱼. 鱿鱼, the squid. And there's a very popular Chinese slang which is 炒. Yo. Yu. And 炒 is the stir fry, because stir fry is very important in the Chinese cooking method. And 鱿鱼 is the squid. So stir fry squid. Yeah, it could be a very popular Chinese dish like this. But more importantly, this is a slang, 炒鱿鱼, which means got fired. So just picture this. You are working in a company. So let's say you are the squid in the ocean. And when you got fired, you kick out of the ocean and you will dry out. Okay, let's go back here. The fish radical, it could be related to the fish. Yep, we just talk about it a lot. And the second meaning, it's related to the behavior or the quality that's related to fish. Let's talk about the behavior. If you're going to get some fish, then you need to fish, right? So the fish, I mean the verb, is the fish we're going to talk about. That is this is also the 鱼. It has a water radical on the left, different from the original fish character. It has nothing on the left. And this 鱼, it means to fish as a verb. And this fish is the noun, the fish, the animal. And usually we can say 打鱼. 打鱼 is to fish as a verb. Usually we can say that. 他去打鱼, he goes to fish. Or here's another example. 鱼 min. So this 鱼 is the fish as a verb, and min is the people or the worker. So fish, worker, make the fisherman. That's 渔民. And let's get to the quality of the fish. If you have a lot of fish, you have to make it fresh, because when it gone bad, it smells so bad, right? So the quality of fish is to be fresh. And that is 鲜. 鲜 meaning fresh. Here's the word. 新 鲜 新 meaning new. 鲜 is fresh. So new and fresh, it just equals fresh. For example, I want some fresh air. So fresh air will be 新鲜. Kong 气 空气 meaning air. 新鲜空气 fresh air. And here's another word. 海 鲜 the 海 meaning sea. 鲜 meaning fresh. Sea fresh, the fresh thing from the sea, and that is the seafood. Okay, very good. And just to let you know, the right part of the 鲜, which look like this, this is the sheep and goat radical, which is also the animal radical I'm going to talk about in the next video. Moving on to the fourth animal radical we are going to talk about today, and also the last one for this video, which is the insect radical. And the insect radical is 虫. 虫. And the original form of the 虫, it looks like this. 虫 meaning insect. And normally the insect radical is on the left side of the character, and sometimes it would be at the bottom part. So both of them could be the insect radical. Okay, now let's get to some insects. The first one. Ma yi, ma yi, ant. And just to let you know, the right part of the ma This one, this is the ma. Obviously, it serves as a sound radical to it. It gives the ma sound to the ma. And as for itself, the meaning is the horse. But it serves as a sound radical. It will not bring the horse meaning to the ma. And the ma itself, it's also an animal radical. I will also talk about it in the next video. And let's get to the other insect. Who? Die. 蝴蝶. I know it looks quite complicated, but it's butterfly. 蝴蝶. And both the right side, there are the sound radical of the 蝴 and the 蝶. And the next one is the insect that I'm afraid of. 蜘蛛蜘蛛 spider. And the right part of the 蜘 and the 蛛, they are all the sound radical. And as for the 蜘, it's a very popular hanzi. It's the 蜘. It serves as a sound radical right here, but it's also very popular, as you can see in the 知道. Zhi Dao, which means no. And 不知道 不知道, which means don't know. But as you can see, the 知 it serves as a sound radical in the 知, and it will not bring the no meaning to a spider. Okay, then let's get to the next one. 蜻蜓 蜻蜓, which means the dragonfly. In Chinese culture, dragonfly is a symbol of brave, toughness, and luck, because dragonfly can fly in a very strong wind, just like somebody lived through the difficulties. Moving on to the next insect. 蜜 蜂 蜜蜂 The 蜜 itself, it means honey. The sweet honey you can eat. And the 蜂 is the bee. So 蜜蜂 is the honey bee, or it could refers to the bee in general. You can see on the bottom part of the 蜜, there is the insect radical. So one at the bottom, one on the left side. And let's get to the next one. 蛙 蛙 is the frog. And you might notice on the right part, we have two dirt radical together. This is the dirt radical. And we just talked about the dirt radical in the last video, and I'll drop the link down below in the description box. And to say the frog in general, we would say 青蛙. Qing. Wa. Qing meaning green. Actually, the qing is like the color that between green and blue, but more greenish. And the wa is the frog. So 青蛙 is the word for frog in general. And let's get to the next one. Cang. Ying. Cangying is the fly. And you might notice on the top of the cang, this is a grass radical. And yeah, the flies are always hiding in the grass. And the yin, we have an insect radical on the left. Moving on to the next one. Is the mouse. Again, you can see the wa right here. It also serves as a sound radical. I know, again, the wa and the and we have another example is the the goose. We also have a wa on the left side. It's also the sound radical. The goose, we have a bird radical on the right. And the moth, we have a insect radical on the left. Okay, so to say the flying moth, we say 飞蛾. Fei meaning flying. Is the moths. Since we have all these insects, when they have baby, when they reproduce, they will lay eggs. Yep. So the next word, egg. Dan. The dan itself, it means egg. So if you want to be very specific, then you need to say the animal and then the egg. For example, 鸡蛋. Jidan, very specific. Chicken, egg. And duck egg, 鸭蛋. Yadan is duck egg, right? So we have the insect radical under the egg. It's because most of the insects, they lay egg to reproduce. So maybe that will ruin your impression for the word 鸡蛋. Sorry about that, but it's the truth. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you learned something from the video. And if you want the practice sheet, you can download it from my website, mandymandarin.com. If you have any questions or thoughts about today's video, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Mandy. I'll see you in the next video.